Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Have a Pint. Today we have Coco Stout from Westo Beer. It is an American stout. 6% alcohol, 24 IBUs. Average rating on Untappd is 3.91. The description for the beer reads, real cocoa nibs, hint of coffee and oats, bourbon vanilla beans, imported sugar, caramel malt, holy cocoa. Kind of mostly interested in that imported sugar. Anyways, I have had one other beer by them. I think it was a Cascadian dark ale. Yeah, called Infinite. Cascadian dark ale. That was tasty. But, anyways. Let's see if there's any other information here. Real cocoa nibs, bourbon vanilla bean, imported sugar, and caramel malt all combined for a complex yet balanced milk stout. Alongside the mild chocolate flavor, you'll find hints of vanilla, oats, and subtle coffee. Coffee has to be subtle in a milk stout. Stout jokes aside, this one can stand on its own, but it also plays well with others, so mix things up. Breakfast, add espresso. Dessert, a scoop of ice cream. Boom. Where's your Westo? I'm not going to do any of that. I don't like doing that with beers. Literally think I'm near no head on this guy. I don't see any sort of labeling as to how old this is. Oh, it's bottled last month, about just slightly over a month ago it was bottled, so it cannot be that old. Unless 6/15/2018 is not this year. Definitely get the chocolate. Oh my goodness, I get that bourbon vanilla. Holy shit, I like that. I can't get past that bourbon vanilla. It's a really good smell. It's mostly the chocolate, then the bourbon vanilla bean are both the ones up front. I get a little bit of that caramel malt. It's a lot lighter body than the milk stout we did the other day from Clown Shoes, the Moon Bear. The thing I didn't like about Moon Bear, though, was it was a milk stout that was bitter as hell. Way too much coffee. It was like they could have called it a coffee stout, and I would have no idea that what their intent was a milk stout. I'd have had no idea. I'd have gone, good milk stout, or I'd have thought, oh, that was a good coffee stout. No idea that they were going for a milk stout. This one is obvious that milk stout or chocolate stout was what they were going for. I don't know why I put it down there. That's really sweet. The cocoa nibs, the chocolate right up front, starts instantly on the palate. Coffee and oats are there as well on the front of the palate. Vanilla comes in the middle. Same with the sugar, I believe. That sugar is there the whole time. Damn, that's great. Ooh. I don't really get much for caramel, but that's about it. Love that vanilla in the beer. Caramel's on the end. But vanilla is just something I don't really see in beer. Might not like last, but I love that. But anyways. They have the same basic label for all their beers. Gold medal winner 2014-2015, I can see why. Great American Beer Festival, sweet or cream stout category. Yeah. In Denver, Colorado. I mean, it's from Okoboji, Ohio. Okoboji, Iowa. Excuse me. I've been to Okoboji once or twice. Specifically the lake. Did some fishing, swimming there and all that stuff when I was a kid. Wouldn't have had this, even if it was around. I doubt it was around when I was a kid. Tell you what, if I go to Okoboji now, I'll go into that brewery. Because honestly, that Cascadian Dark Ale was fantastic. And I love Cascadian Dark Ales. I call it that, or I don't really call it black IPA. I'll use that as descriptor more so. Like, somebody who's not big into craft beer, not going to know what Cascadian Dark Ale is. So I'll say, I'll call it that, but then I'll go, it's a black IPA. It's a sweeter version of an IPA. Well, it's absolutely fantastic. Don't really have anything, because I have not uploaded videos. I am not getting ideas on what to do. But I am very, very close to the end of my novel. I just have to add some more detail into some of the shorter chapters towards the end, 2 or 3 of them. That's basically, I think, all I have left to do. I might have to add another chapter or 2, though, but we shall see. I think I'm going to do that, probably. So there are certain characters in the novel that, in this novel, they really only have 1, maybe 2 point of view chapters. Now granted, in the next one, no one's going to have less than 3 or 4. This one is heavy on 2 specific characters, one being the title character, Zoe, and the other being the other main character, Randy. I mean, the next most amount of chapters is Ariel, a character named Ariel, who's an incredibly smart young lady. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She gets 7 chapters. I mean, I guess, like, the bad guy has a fair few chapters as well, but most of them don't get many. am so ready to just do editing on it, though. I am so excited to get to that point. It'll happen. It'll be there. The bulk of it is done. The bulk of what I've added is done. And I know this channel is going to be live before that if anybody is a reader interested in some vague way. I'm not opposed to sending out chapters for either review or for edits if you have any. Like, if you read through, there's issues as far as, well, I don't know what you're trying to how you're trying to do this, or I think trying to get this across this way is a better idea, or, you know, what have you. I am very much up for any of that, if anybody is interested. I have a cousin who does similar stuff for a living. It wouldn't hurt to have her look through it too. She offered like 5 years ago when the novel was like 120,000 words. Here's the thing, why this, you know, I started this back in 2011 and it's 2018. It's been 7 years. The reason why it's been so long is, you know, initially I wrote it from like 2011 to 2014, and then I sat on it for like a year or so, not knowing what to do next, you know. And then other people started reading it, and ideas bounce around, you know, and I got the confidence, you know, I wanted to make it longer, but I was reading that, you know, first time sci-fi fantasy novelists, most publishers won't publish over 120,000 words, and at that time I wanted to get a publisher. I don't now, but at that time I did, but then I got talked into, make it longer, you know, make it however long it needs to be. At the end of the day, the story's not done just because publishers have a quote-unquote word limit. And so, like 2015, 2016, I added a bunch of stuff, and it jumped up to like 220,000 words. And then I had that draft actually available on Amazon, and I've retired that, realizing, you know, and at that time I was like, I kind of want something, you know, that's this big massive adventure with a ton of different storylines that end up coming together, which they will all at some point come together, and some of them will spring off, you know, later on, you know, but they'll all come together towards the end. But anyways, the more I thought about it, the more I wanted something that was like Game of Thrones. I wanted it to be this big, epic adventure thing. You know, I got other things that I don't want to be that way, and that will be nowhere near the size of these, but the more I thought about it, if you're going to have like 10 point of view characters, you're not going to have an 80,000 word novel. You're not going to have a 120,000 word novel. You're not going to have a 150,000 word novel. You're going to have a very short storyline if you put it into even 150,000 words, if you have about 10 point of view characters. You can have it, you know, even in this one there's like 4 main ones. There's Zoe, Randy, there's the villain, and Ariel has the next most amount of chapters. Those 4, you know, the smallest one's Ariel with 7 chapters. I think the villain has 8 or 9 or 10. And then Randy and Zoe together probably have 17 or 18 together. Oh, what does the villain have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. But it's only 30. Oh, I'm not sure. It's not 32 drafts. I have been thinking that's too short. It's 50. Basically 51 chapters. So if there's like 6 other characters with 1, maybe 2 point of view chapters. Randy and Zoe have a lot. Yes, I am itching my butt. But I also don't want it, because of the way I'm doing it now. There's too many. This one's gonna be Randy heavy. After this, it's gonna be more balanced. But Zoe's probably gonna have the most chapters out of anybody after this novel. But I also don't want anywhere in there to be back-to-back chapters of the same character point of view. So I gotta play around with that. Because if each chapter is gonna have a different point of view character, you don't want to have 2 together that are the same character. So I'll have to tweak a little bit. But we shall see. And anybody who would like, I'm distracted here, sorry. I don't know, but it says somebody's comment, so there's 2 comments on one of the chapters, and I don't know how to find it. But anyways, there is that. Anybody who wants to read it, or at least parts of it, I am more than happy to get that out. Because at the end of the day, I need people to read it to know what works and what doesn't work. Okay. So I'm on that chapter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters left to do in this novel. I've written 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a small novel. Anybody can guess each of the each of the chapter titles in the comments. Know where each one of them is from. What the inspiration for each chapter title is. Don't have shit for you, but first chapter is called Trash. Second one's title is The Sickness. Then there's Disassociative, Just Go, 4 Walls, Alone I Break, Killing Loneliness, Over My Head, Breakdown, Nameless, The Bottom, Coma White, and Epilogue The Funeral. for this novel is Cruel World. Uh, my description that I have on Wattpad for it is that this book is about a depressed girl who also suffers from anxiety. I am trying to write something that I have been able to find a good book that portrays depression and anxiety in a believable light. That was a big stab at 13 Reasons Why. I never really watched the show 13 Reasons Why. I tried to read the book. I got halfway through and I was trying to power through because it's a short novel. And I was like, I can't. This thing fucking sucks. The biggest thing about it was, you know, she didn't seem depressed at all. She didn't seem that sad. It's not to the point of suicide. And then her actions proved that she was not actually that suicidal, or that's, sad enough for suicide. She's blaming everybody else. She's got this whole tape going on. And anybody who's in that position of being suicidal is not, that does not matter to them. That's all irrelevant shit. So anyways, yes, I would buy a 6-pack of this, even if it's just bottle. Even if it's just bottle. Like I said, the average rating on this is 3.91. I don't think that's too shy. I'll rate it a 4. 4.25. We're going to go 4.25 because trying to do it by style, it's not just those big bold beers that get up into the 4.5 to 5 range. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to have a big, bold Pilsner or there's other styles I'm not thinking offhand. So we're going to go with 4.25. All right. Until next time, Prost.